Welcome to Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Well, first of all, tonight I'd like to congratulate the University of Connecticut Husky women's basketball team for winning the Collegiate National Championship in Tampa Sunday. And I'd also like to congratulate the University of Florida Gators for defeating Houston in the men's championship on Monday night. Both programs won a national title for their respective schools. It was the 12th win of a national title by the University of Connecticut basketball team. It was the third for the Florida Gators national championship win. But congratulations to both those schools. They're going through the 64-team tournament, going through regular season, and winding up in the championship game and winning a championship for their respective school. So that was big this week. Back to the Bucks. Not much news on the Buccaneer front on the draft. Again, the 24th, 25th, and 26th of April, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We get the 19th pick Thursday night of the 24th. It'll be at night, the 24th and the 25th, evening from 6 on, and then during the day on Saturday. I think there'll be round 1 on Thursday night, and then round 2 and 3 on Friday night, and then the 4, 5, 6, and 7 on Saturday. That's how the draft days will be broken up to in those 3 days of draft from Green Bay, Wisconsin, where it will be held this year. And no really news on who the players we're going to be selecting are. And it's kind of like playing poker. All 32 teams have got cards of who they want. And if they're not there, the person behind them. And if they ain't there, right on down the list. But they don't let nobody know their cards. So they're pretty quiet right now as far as any movement in football of major proportion. Aaron Rodgers still not with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Contract laying on the table for him to come pick it up, but he won't do it. We'll just have to see as closer the draft gets whether he comes or whether he doesn't. I certainly, if I was the Pittsburgh Steelers, if it came draft day and he wasn't there, I certainly would be getting me another quarterback in the draft. And I would tell him, I don't want to tell anybody publicly there's a deadline for you, Mr. Rodgers, but that first day of the draft, the first picks will be the ones to be franchise quarterbacks. If you don't pick up that contract the day before that draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be picking a quarterback that first night. Let's just lay it out to you like that. And I think Aaron Rodgers has signaled to them that he's on his way in. We'll just have to see. We'll keep you posted on that. And that's about it as far as the NFL is concerned for a couple weeks. We're going to baseball. The Rays were defeated last night 4-3 by the California Angels in Steinbrenner Field. It was a good game. We were behind 2-0 in the 5th inning. Came back to tie it and even lead it 3-2. They came back and got a lead on us 4-3. We had a runner at first and third with no outs and couldn't drive one in with a hit and lost the game last night. We'll be playing the same team tonight. The shooting of this show at 7 o'clock at Steinbrenner Field. So maybe we'll have better luck. We're 4-6 after 10 games. We've won 4 and lost 6. It's about 40% the way I've tabulated. So we got a long way to go, 152 more games. There's 162 in the season, so it's nothing to panic if we've lost 1 or 2. But the Rays have been playing quite well. The hits have been more than the teams that have beaten them, but they just don't get them in a timely fashion while they've got base runners on base. And we all know in baseball, if you got base runners in position on the bases, you need those hits to drive those runs in. And leaving those base runners or leaving men on base is very detrimental to your team. And the Rays have been leaving between 8 and 10 a game on base. That's 8 and 10 runs they're leaving on base every game that they have been losing. So we're going to have to see if that can change. The pitching is doing real well. All the starting pitchers of the Rays have been very, very good. There's been no major injuries so far to any major injury to any of our pitchers or our players. So we got to hope for the best tonight after last night's nail-biting defeat, which we should have, I think, won that game. As far as the Tampa Bay Lightning, they've won 3 straight. They won again last night. They're on their way to the playoffs. The Florida Panthers were beaten last night. We're only a couple games out of the lead of the whole conference we're in. We're already made the playoffs for the Stanley Cup. What the seed we will be, first seed, second seed, third seed, we don't know yet, but we're in the playoffs with the Lightning. We've got about a week and a half left with them to see who they play and where they finally wind up. So these games are critical in seeding, but not whether the Lightning make the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Lightning will make its run for the Stanley Cup this year. And we'll cover here at Sports Talk the Cowboy each and every series throughout the Stanley Cup run by the hockey Lightning team. And until we hear any more information on that, and we'll just keep watching the hockey games and hope we don't suffer any injuries. The big sporting event for the PGA, the biggest event of the year, one of the four major tournaments of the year, and the biggest of the four majors, in my opinion and everybody in golf's opinion, the Masters in Augusta, Georgia, is this week the greatest golf tournament of the year in the world. And so it starts Thursday. That'd be the first round. Second round on Friday. Then there would be the cut. Then there would be Saturday, the third round, and Sunday, the fourth round, to crown the Masters champion, to wear the green jacket, to have his portrait in the clubhouse forever. They have two clubhouses there. The clubhouses of the pros that are playing and the Champions Clubhouse. If you've already won a Masters, you go to the Champion Clubhouse. And why is that different? Because the Champion Clubhouse has your locker there forever. And I mean forever. If you deceased, your locker is still there with your name still on it at Augusta. That's why everybody wants to win. It's this week. Tune it in. Beautiful scenery, beautiful golf. Should be beautiful weather as far as I know. Last week, Denny Hamlin wins the NASCAR race in Darlington, South Carolina. It was a tough race. William Byron was leading the race most of the race, but at the very end, Denny Hamlin did win. That's his second win in a row because he won at Martinsville the week before. So we'll keep you posted on what goes on in NASCAR next week's show, but that's about what the world of sports is at tonight. We're going to take your questions, and the first one here is from Gail, and Gail wanted me to know what about the fan who jumped over the fence and caught the ball from our right fielder last night. Wasn't that a penalty? Should have been a penalty when the fan sticks his hand down into the glove of the player and takes the ball out of it. Should have been a penalty. Wasn't called one of them judgment things in baseball, but it should have been. And it's a good question, Gail. A lot of people have asked that question today. Why didn't the umpire give him a ground rule double instead of a home run? Because the guy pulled the ball out of our guy's glove, even though it was over the fence, and run away with the ball. But that was a judgment call, and the umpires ruled it a home run. And, of course, we lost by one run, so it really stung a little bit worse. So, Gail, God bless you for that question. It was a real good one. Next question is from Tommy. Tommy wanted to know who I thought that the Bucs would be looking for in the draft. Tommy, I think the Bucs are going to be looking for an edge rusher, at least two of them, two linebackers, and two or three defensive backs. I don't believe you're going to have an offensive player in the draft the Bucs pick. They're only going to be picking defensive players because their offense is set up. They don't need no offensive player. I mean, they just don't. They need defensive players and need them in a bad way. So I don't think any players in this draft is going to be offensive. Tommy, I think it's going to be a straight defensive draft. I think it'll be a defensive end or cornerback in that first pick, or an outside linebacker with you in the 3 and 4 as a Russian linebacker. God bless you. Thank you for your question, Tommy. And the last question tonight is from Elizabeth, and Elizabeth wanted to know what I thought about the chances of Steinbrenner Field being turned into a field for the Rays in the future. I don't believe it'll happen, Tammy. I just don't believe it'll happen. Steinbrenner Field is the Yankees, and the Yankees are going to come back to play there next year. And the Rays will be going back to Tropicana Field to play for 3 more years under contract to 2029. They have a contract to go back to Tropicana Field. They have to live up to it, and they're going to have to go back to Tropicana Field. And the city of St. Petersburg right now is rebuilding this Tropicana Field roof so they can come back in 2026. So after that, for the 3 years, they will be in Tropicana Field. And I don't believe that they're going to try to build a smaller stadium as it is in Steinbrenner Field if they build a stadium in Tampa. And I don't know what the Bucs will bring because we all know the drama of the Bucs with the stadiums and all that has been going on this year. But for the 3 years after the year at Steinbrenner this year in Tampa, they'll be in Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg if they can get the roof on it. God bless you, Tammy. Thank you for your question. God bless each and every one of you. I want you to say a prayer for our country and our president and the world, and do unto others as they do unto you. Give a hand up, not a hand out. Help a friend, help a neighbor. There's a lot more hate than there is love. We need love, not hate. As we enter on this season of Easter, and we pass over, and the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, let us come in with peace, and let us have this spring in that vein, and pray that we all have it. Until next show, God bless you. Cowboy out.
Have you ever had a dreams that you had you could you do you want you could do so you do you could you want him to do you so much you could do anything?